Okay, we're live. I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm not even counting the live rants, so whatever number this is, welcome. Today I've got two special guest stars. We're going to start with Brawl the Decepticon there.
Cuz Tank.
And Scrapper the Constructicon. Or is that the other page?
No.
Okay.
That was probably the other page. Who now is, I think, beta.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you both for joining. And today's Pyrostrata and Thundercracker could not be here today. They had prior arrangements they had to deal with, but they are here in spirit. So the subject of today's rant is Robo-Humping and the general anthropomorphization of Cybertronians. Now, I did a mini rant about this a while ago when I was just doing solo rants, but I wanted to revisit this and get other people's opinions because I don't think I'm alone in seeing this. Like, you know, IDW calls it conjunx endura or whatever, where they're actually romantically involved with one another, and that makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. And it's not, how do I put this? So okay, I don't give a shit if Chrome Dome and Rewind or whatever the fuck it is, they're all the cassettes. I don't care. But Cyclonus and Tailgate, I don't fucking care if they're in relationships. I don't give a shit because they're giant killer robots from outer space, and technically they don't have genders. However, they are emotionally dynamic beings, and they are capable of forming friendships, expressing loyalty, and expressing love. So that's one thing. So I don't give a shit if they depict them as being in relationships. It's how the franchise has begun to shove that shit down our throats in recent years. It seems they've backed off in the last couple iterations of the comics, as far as I can tell. But for a while, it was, look how progressive we are, look how progressive we are, look how progressive we are, look how progressive we are. And that was really fucking annoying. And then there's this stupid shit that you see online in fan fictions and shit like that, where they actually reproduce sexually. Have you guys seen any of this shit?
This shit so hyphenated.
They straight up robo-hump and then carry around a tiny transformer inside them as it develops, and they give them a million birth. I cannot wrap my mind around that.
Just no.
Like, okay, so even in G1, it was established that there are quote-unquote genders amongst the Cybertronians. So that's fine. You can have a male and a female Cybertronian, but when it comes down to it, they are just, ultimately, when you strip away all the titles and everything, they are just giant robots. So I don't fucking get it. Thoughts?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, reason 2,973.
It makes
I'm for this one just because, on principle, as a Combaticon.
Just blows my mind. It makes no sense.
Well, I mean, okay, so being a super fan and everything, as I'm sure we all are, I get having an obsession with certain characters and whatnot, but I don't fucking get it how somebody can read a comic book or buy a toy or watch a cartoon and decide I am sexually attracted to this fictional character who is a 6-story tall killing robot that turns into a spaceship. I don't see. It's so bad we're making Brawl throw up, and he doesn't even have a mouth.
Hashtag faceplate problems.
Yes. So I just it so fucks me up when I see this shit, because part of me gets it. Part of me gets it where they're enamored with a specific character, but at the same time, part of me is like, why? I mean, you know, there's the episodes, The Girl Who Loved Power Glide and whatever the one was with Sea Spray, where they have pseudo relationships with organic humanoid beings, but at the same time, well, those are two of the lamest Autobots.
If
Yeah.
I recall, there was an incident in the older Marvel comics. I'm looking it up right now, and I'll get back to you on that one. It involved one of the Pretenders.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like a movie star or something that he was trying to hook up with. It was Skullgrin, wasn't it?
No, it was one of the Autobot Pretenders.
Oh,
I'm looking it up right now. I'll get back to you on that one.
all right. Well, so I honestly don't fucking get it. It just like, okay, so if my brain were an engine, it would stall out at the moment that people are like you see comments when people post. So like if one of us posts a picture of Optimus Prime fighting Megatron and Optimus Prime has his back slightly turned to the audience, there's people that comment, "Oh, that ass," and I'm just like, no.
Really?
I found it. It was Cloudburst.
Yes,
And,
yes.
Marvel US number 53, Recipe for Disaster.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yep. Yeah. The Autobots have a weird obsession with trying to get with organics. But yeah, I forget who it was. It was either I think it was Ledoux. I think she posted a picture of, I think it was Prime Optimus, and somebody commented that ass, and I'm just like, no. First of all, it would be that aft.
Yes.
Second of all, it's not an ass. It's an articulation point between his hips and below his spinal column. There's no ass there. He's a robot.
He's a robot that is an ass. I mean, this is the Prime we're talking about here.
He's a dictator.
Yeah. So I don't get it. And don't even get me started on, like, okay, so I used to be a fan of the DJD.
Uh-huh.
And I slowly grew unenamored with them as I was like, okay, you know what, this is just pandering to the most extreme. It's completely undisguised pandering. Pandering's good, but there's a limit. But while I was a fan of it, I would run into people on message boards and shit that they would be like, and I shit you not, Tarn covers his face because he's so handsome that he'd be drowning in pussy if he took it off. And I'm like, he's a fucking robot. And he's like a crazy zealot Decepticon, and part of their mission statement is to wipe out all organic life in the universe.
Yep.
So no, he would not be quote unquote drowning in pussy. So I'm going to pass this rant off to get your guys' thoughts. Scrapper, let's start with you.
Where to begin? Just no. I don't get it. I see some of the stuff that other people post. I'm like, why do you go so far to make yourself into like a fake relationship with somebody, one of the characters, and all this crap?
I'm sure there's some part of the brain that's wired wrong in those people.
I mean, granted, yes, my brain is wired differently, but come on, I'm not like that.
It's funny that you say that, because I actually read an article some months ago where and no, it wasn't a cracked article to people who are leaving, but it was an actual like scientific study journal thing. I forget where it was from. I'll try to find the link later. That there, as humans, the libido can be tricked by a cartoon. Like we're aware on a conscious level that this is not a thing; it's immaterial. But the sex drive is tricked by it on a subconscious level. But once again, however, Optimus Prime is not Jessica Rabbit. So
no.
So I don't get it.
I'm gonna
I don't
have
know
to
how
skip to
they're
45
attracted to
because
it.
I just got that mental image in my head. Don't you? Why did you put that evil on me?
Because I'm a motherfucking Decepticon.
I don't get why people will come out to say that, oh, I'm Optimus's daughter or husband or I'm her son. I'm like, no, stop it. That doesn't happen.
If I had a penny for every fucking Facebook page that has ever existed that claimed that they were Megatron's daughter,
Yes.
I would be a fucking millionaire.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
Stop it.
That has never
It does
been
not-
how it is.
I get those and I just tend to ignore them. I'm like, nope. They want to try and role play with you. I'm like, nope. I'm not into that kind of stuff. So
Now see,
forget it.
I will give all kinds of credit and starting leniency to an OC that I'm not familiar with. And
Right.
maybe they'll have the stupid stereotype of, well, they're so-and-so's daughter, or they're a failed clone of this, or they're a copy of that, or they're from Junkion, or they're, and I'll give them all kinds of leniency. I'm like, okay, that's their starting point. There's nothing wrong with starting in a standard archetype to try and build yourself from. But then there's no improvement. And it's just sad. Like, honestly, at this point, the only OC that I frequently interact with that I actually like is Pyrostrata, simply because, one, she's fucking hilarious.
She's also very well thought out.
Yes.
Yeah, she's well thought out. She has an established history. It's its own personality.
She likes fire.
Yeah, she loves fire. There's an established hostile relationship between her and other characters, and there's valid reasons for it. So Pyro is actually an example of an extremely well thought out independent OC, and I like that. What I don't like is when I see shit that's like, oh, I'm Megatron's daughter and Starscream gave birth to me. I'm like, whoa.
What?
No. Bad OC. Roll up a newspaper and bop him on the nose. Bad OC. Bad.
You need the Sunday edition for that.
Who told you could use that origin story? You go find another origin story.
You go sit in the corner and you think about what you did.
Yeah.
Take this pack of C4 with you. I've got the detonator with me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get the need to anthropomorphize the characters like that as part of the, I guess I'll call it a fetish. I don't get it. I don't get the need to look at the Cybertronians and go, I bet they give mammalian birth.
On the flip side, those who take Cybertronian characters and make them human.
Yeah. There's the whole hollow avatar thing, but there's the people who actually are like, well, this is clearly what Thundercracker would look like as a human.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
The only place I can understand that is like with Master Force, with the Pretenders, and the hollow avatars.
Yeah.
Although I do maintain that if I had one, if I had an avatar, it would be Nick Popovich, the Cigar Marine.
Mine would look vaguely like Kevin James. Because, surprise, surprise, the admin has been told that he looks vaguely like Kevin James. So there we go. But yeah, it's so now with that flip side, Scrapper, there is some interesting art takes that some fans have done about what they would envision the Cybertronian character to look like as a human or their hollow avatar, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Like, there's some interesting ones of Megatron where it shows him as being kind of not old, but clearly starting to hit that point where he's past his prime and he's kind of grizzled.
Mm-hmm.
That I find intriguing. But then inevitably there's a fan of that artist on DeviantArt who has made their own fan art of that human Megatron, and he's locked in coitus with a human Optimus Prime or something. And it just
Okay, I need that 45 right now.
Yeah. So I don't get it. I have no issue. I realize how this is starting to sound, so I'm going to add this disclaimer right now. I have no issue with homosexuality or homosexual acts. That doesn't bug me.
Hang on.
Brawl's dog does not agree with me. But it doesn't bug me. I don't give a shit when they're depicted as being in a relationship. I don't give a shit when they're being depicted as being in a relationship with another Cybertronian that's the same, quote, gender, end quote. What bugs me is the fans and how obsessed they become with it.
Yeah.
Like, I have actually seen in comments about, you know, this, when they were first trying to shove Cyclonus and Tailgate down our throat, Squee, they actually wrote out Squee, Squee. It's so adorable. And I'm just like, no, it's not. They're robots.
All right, I'm back.
If it were in human proportions, one of them is like 6.5 feet tall and the other's a midget. So it's, I don't even know how that would work out.
God damn it! Hang on.
It wouldn't work out.
It's the fucking fans, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fans fueling the creepy. They have to be human boners. It's weird, and it is frankly just utterly disturbing. Yeah. Moving on from that, and off topic here, I got my first Masterpiece figure the other day. I got the gold Megatron.
Look, somebody queue up man with the golden gun.
That was the first thing I thought when I transformed him. I know there's issues with it, and it's all panely, and the fusion cannon's disproportionately large, but I fucking love it.
Here's hoping he doesn't have GPS.
Yeah. He seems pretty solid. I'm actually going out and going to look for a proper display case for him today so I can actually put him properly on display.
Right.
Yeah, I love it. He's the first Masterpiece figure I've ever had. I love it. Which makes me question, since I brought this up and we're talking about creepiness with the sexual fetishes that people have towards Transformers, is someone eventually going to rename him Golden Shower Megatron?
Oh, God.
Why did you have to put that evil on us?
Oh, God.
I'm going to kill you. I am going to kill you dead for that. And I'm going to go through Scrapper first.
Well, on the bright side, he should be popular in Russia.
Or with R. Kelly.
Yeah. He's golden like a shower at R. Kelly's house. God, I'm so depressed with the subject that we've been talking about. We've only been talking about it for like 17 minutes.
17 minutes in, and we're already contemplating suicide.
I know. I need to turn into something more positive. You know what? We're going to go off the rails here and just talk about whatever. Brawl, what is your favorite G1 episode and why?
Not going to lie, big broadcast of 2006. So many references in such a short amount of time.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. All right. Scrapper, what is your favorite G1 episode?
The one that sticks in my mind is Heavy Metal War.
What kind of brain fart? Is that the one where Megatron gets all their powers? And
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And he kicks the shit out of Optimus Prime. Fantastic.
And they dispatch it to the Constructicons to destroy Teletran 1.
Yeah.
And of course, Grimlock and the Dinobots had to get in the way.
Now, well, this Grimlock would have just won the war by himself. He's so powerful.
Yeah.
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 Grimlock, leader of Autobots now.
No, what is the
Prime, my bitch.
what does Thundercracker say? Der mean king?
Something like that.
Yeah, is that what he puts? That's the best caption for Grimlock. Der.
Me too.
I like. Go ahead.
I had the Masterpiece Grimlock. I sold it.
Ah, okay. How was it?
It was pretty good. I sold it for Thundercracker.
Ah, okay.
Huh.
So you got
to complete my secret trio. Yeah.
Okay, so you completed the command shrine.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Probably should have sent it to Long Haul. I mean, he was screaming in the Starscream's ass for a shrine.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. All right. Well, I'd have to say that my favorite G1 episode is Revenge of Bruticus. Well, I love it because A, it shows Bruticus, who is my favorite Gestalt. B, it, as powerful and as intelligent as he is, it shows that when he's caught off guard, Shockwave can be taken down. C, Bruticus loads Shockwave into one of his back cannons and fires him into space. And what is not to love about that?
Everything.
Quiet, you.
I'm just saying, there's everything about that to love about it.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else can we talk about that'll cheer this up? Oh, what is your holy grail toy? Brawl.
Hang on a second. I gotta turn around to look at everything that's on the shelf right quick.
Oh no, it doesn't have to be something that you own, but like, what is like? It's one that you've always coveted and wanted. Even if
I was thinking about this earlier, actually, and I'm sad that I didn't take the initiative and plead for it more, but I remember back sometime in the early 90s when NAS Dallas was still in operation. We were at the exchange, and I had seen a Pretender Squeeze play on the shelf, and, well, suffice to say, I didn't get it.
That sucks. The Pretenders are hard. They're not hard to come by, but it's hard to find them with all their parts usually.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. And a lot of times they've got what do you call it? It's not gold plastic, it's rubber rot.
Oh yeah, dry rot in the rubber.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate. Scrapper, what's your holy grail toy?
I don't think I really have one.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff I want, but there's nothing really that, other than like maybe the MP10. Replace
that one.
Optimus.
Yeah.
The Masterpiece, the newer mold, as I have the first one that doesn't have a trailer, and I've always wanted one with a trailer, but I've never been able to get one. They're way too expensive.
Well, would you get the standard one, or would you get one of those crazy variants like the green one, the Pepsi one, or the Evangelion one?
So start probably the main one, and then eventually, if I could get another one, maybe I'll get like another variant.
I would kill for the Pepsi one.
That would be cool.
Or
even get like.
And I'd get it, and I would put a Coke bottle in it.
Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, maybe.
Okay.
But they're just so expensive.
Yeah, God, holy shit, yeah.
Like you need to take out a kidney or two and just buy one.
I actually have both of my Holy Grail toys. And I love them dearly, but they are old, and so they predominantly stay in their boxes. I have a complete original Trypticon, including the styrofoam insert and the box. And I have a complete Japanese Overlord.
Wow.
And let me tell you, that shit was hard to find.
Trypticon, that's the one that'll drown out Kirk Hammett in his vocals, right?
Trypticon would drown out an M1 Abrams.
Huh.
It's you click his. We've talked about this before. You click his motor on, and you go, "Wow, isn't that loud?" And the person next to you goes, "What?" Okay, now that I've brought the mood up slightly, back on topic. Part of the anthropomorphic... I can never fucking say this word.
Anthropomorphization.
Thank you. Part of my issue with it is it's the obsession with developing an understanding. Does that make sense? Like, it's like they anthropomorphize a character for the sake of being like, well, okay, now we can attach my personal views to it, so now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I've actually heard people refer to Megatron as Stalin. You know, he's Robo-Stalin, and I'm like, no, actually, Optimus Prime is closer to Stalin when you actually...
Yeah, I do not see Megatron as I don't even see him as a Slav to begin with. If anything, I can see him more as a German.
Yeah, I mean, he is a totalitarian, and he is a tyrant, and he is, let's be perfectly frank here, an asshole.
Yeah.
But as long as you're doing your job and you're doing what he tells you, he mostly lets the Decepticons do what they do. Whereas Optimus Prime, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah, Turtler's been on the brunt end of that.
Yeah. That's... Boy, how creepy was that I predicted his accident? I genuinely felt when I heard about it. I was like, oh fuck. Shit.
I was gonna say on the anthropomorphization, Ledoux at one point had a cover picture. It was the Combaticons. Except the only mechanical part of them was their heads, and the rest of them, their bodies were human. But you couldn't see any flesh because of the attire they were wearing. And one of them really stood out because Onslaught, he was wearing a officer's uniform, and you could see the medals hanging off on the uniform jacket. And I thought that fit, especially with his personality.
Yeah, that does work. But here's my question. So if Onslaught is the officer, who's the NCO?
I'd have to say the NCO would be Swindle, and in that case,
No.
he is the one who has been in so goddamn long, he doesn't give a fuck anymore, and he's trying to work an angle for everything now.
We'll say, okay, so you're coming with a Navy background to that conclusion, so I can't speak to how close that is. But for me, with Army, he's closer to a warrant officer for me.
I've only ever known one of those.
They always show up with a full coffee mug. It could be noon, and they will have a full coffee mug. Nobody's quite sure why they're there. They've always got something going on. And as soon as it's time to actually do anything, they magically have to be somewhere else.
This was the only person on the boat that I could get away with calling sicko, because his job title was Combat Information Center Officer.
Anyway, back on topic here. There was a point where on the Hunger page, I posted a Combaticon image, and somebody actually commented that it was, I remember now. It was the picture where Brawl is saying, "We aim to maim."
Yeah.
And somebody commented that a woman commented that they love Brawl, and that Brawl's their favorite Decepticon. And so as a joke, I said, "Oh, so you aim to be maimed." And I honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it. And right after I hit enter and posted that, I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to take that as a sexual comment, aren't they? Oh, they did. They did.
Ah.
Are you clenching your?
Ah.
I honestly don't get it. Like, it's the as it's been established in the expanded universe, the Decepticons have made it their part of their mission to eradicate all organic life in the universe because they consider it a threat to mechanical life. So I don't get how people can look at the characters and be like, "Oh, I find that sexually attractive." So what? You're a masochist? You're gonna want them to slowly pull your arms and legs off to see what makes you tick?
We're gonna cut their living guts out and grease the treads of our tanks with them.
And no shit.
Thank you, General Patton.
Rommel, you magnificent bastard! I read your book.
Great. Now somebody's got to do a comic with the Onslaught saying that to, I don't know, Ultra Magnus.
I will get to work on it as soon as I can. So I don't know if you would call this anthropomorphization, but so like Cup's Saigar.
Wasn't that to keep him, I don't know, sane?
Yeah. It releases a small radiation level that stabilizes his brain or whatever. But it's having him constantly have a cigar. I don't understand. What is that supposed to make him look more badass or something?
I don't know. I do recall seeing some picture that somebody had made, a piece of fan art cup with the Saigar, but he's also wearing one of the older, something that looks like one of the older steel helmets that the Army used to use. And on it, it's, the helmet's got graffiti that says "shit piece."
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. What else? Well, this rant kind of petered out, didn't it?
Well, considering the original topic was driving us to depression and myself to suicide.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it came from, but there's a razor blade in front of me, and it worries me.
That's not good.
No. It's okay, though. I have the veteran suicide hotline here. Oh, they're busy. And somebody's going to take that the wrong way and complain. But guess what? I am a vet, and I've been fucked over by the VA before, so fuck you.
They snuck up God damn it. Yeah, I think the dog agrees with you on that.
I was just thinking that.
Speaking of dogs and anthropomorphization, IDW Thundercracker and Buster, what the fuck is up with that?
I knew it was going to that.
Oh God.
I don't get it. Like, honestly, one of the most interesting character arcs, that they've had was the buildup from all the way back with Spotlight Thundercracker and the slow and eventual buildup to his actions in the buildup to Chaos. That was one of the more genuinely intriguing evolutions of a character that I've seen in comic books. Have you guys read all that?
I stopped reading after All Hail Megatron.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up too much, so.
Okay, but you're aware that at one point Thundercracker basically had a mild existential crisis and started reviewing how he looked at the Decepticon cause, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually intrigued me. I loved that. I loved the original depiction of IDW Thundercracker because he still considers himself a Decepticon. He believes in individual freedom and whatnot and the right to be able to choose your own path in life. But he's starting to look at the Decepticons, not the cause, but the actual individual Decepticons, as he's like, wow, we are fucking assholes, aren't we? And he grows somewhat disillusioned with it. And I actually liked that because it wasn't just a sudden, oh, I fucking hate doing this. It was actually a slow simmer of his build up to that, which finally culminated in All Hail Megatron when he was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to save the day because fuck all of you.
And then he gets shot.
Yes, but he
In the
survived.
face.
But then, just out of nowhere, suddenly, it's, hey, let's give Thundercracker a dog. And I'm like, okay, even if he doesn't agree with standard Decepticon dogma anymore, he has spent the last easily 8 million years trying to wipe out all organic life in the universe. It always comes back to that. I'm sorry, but doing something for 8 million years, that's a hard habit to break.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it. People who like it, good for you. I'm not saying you have to hate it, but I do. Although I will say this, the modern incarnation of Thundercracker and IDW did give me the image I was able to use to make that nobody expects the Decepticon Inquisition picture.
No one expects a Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the Decepticon Inquisition. What the fuck? What are you doing in here?
Who's part of this the Decepticon Inquisition anyway?
Oh, it was just Thundercracker.
Oh, okay.
He's chasing. It was during the debacle that was Revolution, and he's chasing the Dire Wraiths through the White House, and he literally breaks down the wall and is firing into a room full of important politicians. I don't even remember what he originally said, but I just changed the voice bubble to "Nobody expects the Decepticon Inquisition."
Alternatively, you could have just said, "Oh yeah, Kool-Aid." I'd have to be red for that.
Nah, because then I'd have to have 3 pictures before it of Marissa Fairborn going, "Oh no, oh no, oh no," and then Thundercracker, "Oh yeah." Yeah. Oh, so have you guys read any of the Optimus Prime stuff?
Which one?
Which Optimus Prime stuff?
It's their new subline they're doing. It's only got 4 issues so far.
See also where I said I stopped reading after All Hail Megatron.
Yeah, yeah. So the Junkions have shown up, and Wreck-Gar has fangs and a golden tooth.
How is it that the Junkions of all people have a better dental plan than the Decepticons?
Because
the guy without a mouth. Hashtag faceplate problems.
Well, as a guy obsessed with eating, dental plans are important to me, and the Decepticon dental plan is shit. So, yeah. But no, it's... I don't know. It feels like they're running out of ideas. It really does, because half of that series is what happened to Optimus Prime when he was a cop on Cybertron, and then half of it is the Junkions have arrived on Earth, and now the leader of the Torchbearers, the all-female combiner team, she is basically challenging Optimus Prime for ownership of the Matrix of Leadership.
Oh, like that can't possibly go wrong.
Well, it's actually interesting, and I'm developing. I don't like her, but I've developed a grudging indifference towards her at this point, because they've had her character flat out point out that Optimus Prime doesn't have faith, but that doesn't stop him from using it to control other people.
I'm listening.
Yeah, and then their fight broke out, but then the Junkions attacked, and now there's a swarm of Sharkticons descending upon them, probably all growling groceries, but yeah.
All right, so Junkions attract Sharkticons.
No. The ship that the Junkions are using, it's one of those Quintesson spiral ships, and their cargo hold was full of Sharkticons. And now that the Junkions have decided that the Cybertronians are not going to help them, they've released all these Sharkticons to cause havoc and mayhem.
All of a sudden, I just got a mental image in my head of Retgar standing in Mount Olympus saying, "Release the Kraken."
Yeah, basically that's what happened.
And then that giant squid from the '86 movie comes out of the sea.
Yeah. They also totally fucked up Cosmos, and I'm pretty sure Rumble and Frenzy are dead. Yeah, they're really reaching at this point.
Yikes.
I mean, for me, it all ended. I forced my way through Dark Cybertron, but then right at the end of Dark Cybertron, when Megatron became an Autobot, I was like, nope.
Yeah, nope.
It's like meth. I can't stop.
Wasn't there the part where you equated reading it to hitting yourself in the foot with a hammer, screaming, and then hitting yourself again?
No, Thundercracker insinuated that, and I said, yeah, I can't deny that.
All right, at this point, we need to find somebody who's got a plane. I'm going to empty the gun safe, and we are going to go pay Simon Furman a visit and put him back into writing.
I would like to offer a small prayer, if I may, to our Lord Transformer God Simon Furman. Your children have strayed far from the path you have laid before them. Please come back. Okay.
For fuck's sake, please come back, or we are going to storm your house.
It's gonna
come back.
It's straight up gonna be like Misery. We're gonna somebody's gonna kidnap him and torture him while making him write new comics.
As long as it doesn't degenerate into Deliverance.
No, we're gonna break his ankles or some shit and be like, God, we love your writing. Oh God, that went to a dark place fast.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the subject at hand. So anthropomorphization, I don't get it. That's the moral of the story. I don't get it. I can't put, normally when something stupid happens in the comics or with the fandom, I can at least put myself in close enough to a position to where I can be like, okay, I get where they're coming from. But the anthropomorphization, I don't get. I can't put myself in their shoes. I don't get it. So that's my conclusion. Brawl, what's your conclusion?
I'm not sober enough to deal with this right now.
Outstanding. Scrapper.
I'm going to get the flask.
Groovy.
Oh boy.
Scrapper, what's your conclusion?
I'm not into IDW, so I don't know. I'm not enough to actually have a opinion. Other than I apparently, from what I've seen, it's not that good.
Okay, I can respect that. In fact, I can be envious of it, actually.
The most I've read of it is the few comics that I've gotten as pack-ins from the deluxe figures.
Yeah, the spotlights and whatnot.
Same here.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've seen. And aside from reading All Hell Megatron, I was like, oh, that was pretty good. That's as much as I've pretty much read. So I'm not following it after that.
All right. Well, I'm going to subscribe to the theory, hypothesis, whatever you want to call it, that everything that has happened since All Hail Megatron has been a delusion that has happened inside of a comatose Megatron's head after he was shot in the head at the end of All Hail Megatron.
Just like that story arc in Dallas.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody else is going to get that reference.
Oh, you guys remember how way back when the Thundercast was still going on, how I predicted that Rung's alt mode was the key to Vector Sigma?
It was, wasn't it?
Not directly. His alt mode now mysteriously is a giant mining drill that in the Functionist... Okay, so in the Functionist universe, which is an alternate timeline where Megatron was never quote unquote born. The Functionist Council has seized control of Cybertron. Everybody exists specifically for their job that they're built for. The Senate, before they were overthrown, built a giant, super strong wall around Vector Sigma to prevent the Council from getting to it. Rung turns into the only drill powerful enough to drill through that wall. So in effect, he is the key to Vector Sigma. Nice try, Jimmy Bobby.
Does this also mean that he's Mexican?
Well, I know Trump isn't going to like him. I know that much. But it's to put a British spin on it, to have the glaring cheek to self-insert yourself into a comic and then make your character the key to finding God is the most arrogant, pretentious bullshit that can ever be done. Was that accordion music I just heard?
Actually, hang on. This talk about walls and Junkions and Sharkticons has put me in a Mexican kind of mood.
Outstanding.
Kind of catchy, though. That does the next raid. We're taking Soundwave and we're making him play this. I don't care if we have to duct tape him to the vortex.
Oh, we lost Scrapper.
Oh shit, when did that happen?
Just now.
Wow. I guess accordions have that kind of effect.
Yeah. Huh. Well, he might have thought that we were closing up there, which I guess we can.
Yeah. Hell, we didn't even get a closing statement from him.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the... Wow, this has literally been the most lackadaisical rant that I've done so far. And I think it has a lot to do with the subject matter.
Very depressing.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. I hope I haven't traumatized any of you too much. Thank you for attending Brawl.
Cause Tank.
Even though he's not here anymore, Scrapper, thank you. Not quite sure what happened there, if you thought we were just done or if you lost your connection. But thank you. And goodbye.